There's a storm gathering in the Arabian Sea, but it's not the kind you see on a weather map. The long and often tense rivalry between India and Pakistan seems to be shifting into a new and honestly, a much more dangerous phase. So let's dive in and unpack what's really going on here. Okay, just take a look at this. This isn't some rumor or a leaked memo. This is a direct, very public warning from the top, the chief of the Indian Army himself, General Upendra Dwivedi. And a statement this clear, this bold, well, it's the reason we're doing this explainer today. It signals a massive shift and really sets the stage for what might become.
So first up, let's break down what this warning actually means. Because this isn't just tough talk. It's an incredibly specific declaration of intent, and it was put out there for the entire world to hear.
What's just so striking here is the level of detail they're sharing. This is not a vague threat. The Indian Army is pretty much saying, we see you, we know exactly where you are. They're laying it all out. 6 camps across the line of control, another 2 across the international border. They're even giving numbers, estimating between 100 and 150 active terrorists. And the final message? You are all marked. This tells us the intelligence phase is done, and an operational phase could be next.
All right, so India has just laid its cards on the table. How is Pakistan responding? Well, instead of just matching threats on the ground, they're looking out to sea. It seems Pakistan is making a huge strategic move to fortify the Arabian Sea, almost like they're preparing for a totally different kind of fight. Let's take a look at what that buildup involves.
To lock down its coast, Pakistan is building this dense, layered radar network with an absolutely staggering range of 1,000 kilometers. And this isn't just one type of radar. No, it's a mix of short, medium, and long-range systems using both American and Chinese tech. They're basically creating a massive surveillance wall to watch every single move in the Arabian Sea. And listen, it's not just about seeing a threat, it's about having the teeth to actually meet it. By 2026, Pakistan's Navy is set for a serious upgrade. They're bringing in 2 to 3 of these new Hungar-class submarines. Now, the key here is something called AIP, or Air Independent Propulsion. This is a real game changer. It means these subs can stay underwater for weeks, not just days, which makes them incredibly hard to find. On top of that, they're adding 2 more advanced warships, so we're talking about a much more capable naval force.
But this is the crucial part. Pakistan knows it can't go toe-to-toe with India's massive navy, not ship for ship. So instead of playing the same game, they're changing the rules. And get this, they're taking lessons directly from a conflict that's happening thousands of miles away, in Ukraine.
And the name of this new game? Asymmetric warfare. It's a strategy that's as old as time, really. Think David versus Goliath. The whole idea is you avoid a straight-up fight where you know you're outgunned. Instead, you use clever, low-cost, and unconventional tactics to hit your opponent right where it hurts the most.
And this lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you have the conventional naval power that India has, huge aircraft carriers, big warships, all designed for those classic fleet-on-fleet battles. But what's countering it is a whole new model. We're talking swarms of small, fast-attack boats, long-range naval drones packed with explosives, and a focus not on sinking battleships, but on crippling vital economic infrastructure. I mean, it is the exact playbook Ukraine has been using to basically neutralize Russia's powerful Black Sea fleet, all without a real navy of its own.
So, if Pakistan is building up an arsenal for these kinds of asymmetric attacks, what are they actually planning to hit? Well, the focus seems to be narrowing in on one of India's most economically critical and geographically exposed regions. We're talking about India's Gujarat coast. It's just a dense cluster of incredibly high-value assets. You've got massive oil refineries like Jamnagar and Nayara, huge commercial ports like Mundra and Kandla, plus critical military air bases. The problem is, their close proximity to Pakistan makes them especially vulnerable to exactly the kind of hit-and-run, drone and missile tactics we were just talking about.
And to really put the stakes into perspective, just think about one of those targets. The Jamnagar refinery isn't just big. It is the single largest oil refinery on the entire planet. A successful attack there wouldn't just be a huge blow to India's economy. It would send shockwaves through global energy markets. This is exactly the kind of high-impact target that asymmetric warfare is designed to threaten. Okay, so you have all these pieces moving on the board. The public threats, the naval buildup, these new strategies, and they all seem to be pointing toward a pretty specific time frame. Analysts are now looking ahead, trying to figure out when all this simmering tension might finally boil over.
The year that keeps popping up is 2026. And it's not just a random date. That's the deadline for when many of Pakistan's new naval toys become fully operational. The source material, and it's backed up by analysis from places like the Council on Foreign Relations, points to 2026 as a year with a dangerously high chance of a new conflict flaring. So what could be the spark that lights the fuse? Well, according to the analysis, the threshold for military action has become frighteningly low. The peace as it is balanced on a knife's edge, and the real fear is that a single major terror incident could be the trigger that unleashes the kind of military response both sides are so actively preparing for. Which, of course, leaves us with this one, final, critical question. You have two nuclear-armed rivals adopting these new, aggressive postures and technologies. So we have to ask, are we watching the Arabian Sea transform from a vital global trade route into the world's next major flashpoint? The pieces are definitely moving in that direction.